Hey there, super friends. This is Joey with Last Point Gaming. Today is Tuesday, January 16th, 2018. Oh, fuck. Where's my wallet? Oh, there it is. Alright. Yeah. 2018. If you want to connect with us on social media, you can follow our Last Point Gaming Twitter account. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Stranger Sparrow. You can friend up our Last Point Gaming Facebook account. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, Last Point Gaming, for both of those. Or you can always reach out directly with an email to lastpointgaming@gmail.com. Oh my god. That one was an absolute mess today. My bad. It's been a long day. And I have a feeling it's going to be a somewhat long drive home because it's been snowing all day. Now, granted, it must have been reasonably warm-ish today because not much of it seems to have laid anywhere. But it's been snowing all day, so I'm sure not only will there be messy roads and this doofus who's terrified of life and not taking his right-of-way. Yeah, move along. But there will also be fucking idiots who, that's not fair. Son of a bitch. Oh, Jesus Christ. Seriously, fuck this day. Anyway, my bad. What? It says your storage in order. What? Son of a bitch. Hopefully it's still recording. I don't fucking know. Seriously, fuck this day. Anyway, moving right along. I know I said I was either going to do a cast yesterday or do one this morning to get my 5 in this week since I was off yesterday, and I did neither of those things, mostly because fuck this day. It's going to be a recurring theme. If I sound a little bitchy, it's because I am. I have this pair of boots. It's not that they're too tight, it's that I had a pair of boots that were too tight, and, I got a blister and everything, and these boots rub right against it. It's just pissing me off, because it's not even oh god, this is excruciatingly painful. It's that it's constant, and yeah, it's fucking obnoxious, and it was a long day at work, and it was a really long weekend, but you're not here to listen to me bitch about my day today, so let's just move right along there. Otherwise, it's gonna be a half hour of that bullshit. Who wants that? So, sorry about that. I will try to make up the 5th cast at some point this week, but I'm not going to lie. It may not happen. It really depends on how long it takes them to next day ship a new pair of boots to me in the next size up, because seriously, it's pissed me off. A lot. Unreasonably so, probably, but whatever. But this week, things I plan on talking about, of course, today, I'm going to do the rundown of stuff I did this weekend. And then we're going to talk about the band announcements and my thoughts on there. Though, I was going to do a cast yesterday on it because I ran for coffee. And yes, I know they make home coffee brewers. I have one, in fact. I have a Keurig, and I love it, but I love Starbucks coffee just a little bit more. Seriously, people are just out to piss me off today. But I decided against it for reasons. I'm kind of glad I did because I've had a chance to have some, back and forth in a couple different Facebook groups I'm in, and one with Tybalt on Twitter concerning some of my questions of the band, and there are definitely things I still question, and I'll talk about all that, but I got to get some other perspective to it, which some things make sense. But anyway, moving right along. And then I'm gonna just talk about all the cool standard decks that are popping up now that, spoiler alert, energy's been at least somewhat nerfed. So, this weekend I hit 3 events. I did FNM, I did Two-Headed Giant pre-release with Boo on Saturday, and then Two-Headed Giant pre-release with Rockstar on Sunday. Partnering with Rockstar is always an insanely fun time, even when we're getting our asses kicked, which we didn't do too bad. Partnering with Boo is also very fun, and yeah, we do usually get our asses kicked, but I'm starting to let her take more and more lead over what we do and what we play out and everything to try to build her confidence a little bit and, get her more invested in the game. Because everybody says the same thing. When she's focused, she actually is starting to do pretty well. She's still on the mono-white Vampire Monument deck. And, everybody said when, she's like game 1, she's pretty good. Her game 1 win percentage, not this past Friday, but the one before when she went, was actually pretty decent because she remembers her triggers and she's on top of everything. And then it seems as games 2 and 3 go on, she loses focus, which, she's real young, so that's, younger than the recommended starting age, so it's understandable. But if I can get her a little more invested... Sorry, I gotta turn my heat pretty far up here to keep my windshield clear. So you may get some other noise there, and of course my windshield wipers. This car may have been a mistake, I'm not gonna lie. It makes me sad to say it, because there are a lot of things about this car I enjoy, but we'll never buy a certified pre-owned Mazda again. At least not from the dealership we bought this one from, because they seem to be worthless. Stupid snow. Anyway. So, FNM, I went 1-3. It was another bad week. No buys this week, though. Those were all honest wins. Honestly, though, all I really remember is getting rolled by Teamer 2 rounds in a row. I had won my first round. I don't even recall what I was playing against or who I was playing against, which is surprising. I do remember round 2 I was playing against Judge, rocking some Teamer. And it was close. I guess I shouldn't say that one rolled me, because I took game 1 and both games... Okay, that's not going out. Oh, hush, all of you. No mood for your shit today. Both games that he won, it was real close, it was really tight, and just came down to, I needed one more turn. The second Teamer deck I went up against, no, I did get straight up rolled by that guy. And he was not a regular. I do recall that. One of the other local game stores was closed this weekend, which doesn't bode well. It being a pre-release weekend and everything. Oh, don't start, Elsa. Sorry. It's seriously, it's been, the shittiest of days. Focus. Yeah, so he wasn't one of our regulars. He was a regular of this other store. What is going on? Is there ice? I don't... Why am I slipping? Oh, God. This is like a falling down sort of day. If you're not familiar, I highly recommend you watch the movie Falling Down. Visually, it's not very stunning. It's a pretty old movie. It's from maybe late 80s, early 90s. I think it's Michael Douglas, and dude just kind of snaps. And it's fucking hilarious. I can't wait until I level up to the goddamn rocket launcher. Hilarious in a dark humor sort of way, not in a ha ha ha, but in a, oh, I get them feels. Oh my god. So I don't even remember what I went up against round 4, honestly. I lost to it, whatever it was. And again, I don't even remember who I played against. But in any case, so yeah, it was a bad FNM, but I know, those happen. Then Boo and I ended up with a pretty solid Selesnya dinosaur deck at the Rivals. So here's a weird thing, and I don't remember if I mentioned this last week. I was talking about how they've reprinted shit cards from Ixalan into Rivals of Ixalan, and I said, oh, well, I bet that's because they're going to the single set limited formats where when you draft, it will be 3 packs of the same set. When you do sealed, it'll be 6 of the same set. So, you know, in order to get those cards back in the format, because for whatever reason they felt they wanted them, that must be why, except this sealed format is 4 and 2, so presumably the draft format is 2 and 1. So I don't even understand why they reprinted, like, Raptor Companion and Sailor of Means and Legion Conquistador. Is that the right one? Squadron Vampire. I can still kind of understand that because you need a bunch of them for it to be worth playing. So to be able to pull 2 potentially from the 2 Ixalan packs, but none from the Rivals packs, as soon as you open that card, you kind of cringe a little bit and go, fuck, because it's a dead card. But that is the only reprint between the 2 sets that makes any sense to me whatsoever. But in any case, so yeah, she ended up with a solid Selesnya Dinosaurs deck. With a very, very light splash of red for the Naya colored dinosaur, the new one, the Elder Dinosaur Primal Calamity, something Primal Calamity. Plus we got, oh my god, what is going on? Like, I know how to drive in the snow. What the hell is happening here? If I die today, thank you all for going with me. Well, you know, being here with me when that happens, I guess. I probably should have just sat in traffic on the highway. Taking 2nd Street today was probably, like, the worst fucking idea ever. Because this city is in so much debt that they can't pay to take care of their fucking roads. Anyway. So we splashed red for the Primal Calamity. She also got the, I don't even know, the 12 cost dinosaur gets reduced by the amount of toughness you have on the field. 12/12 with trample. It's like 10 and 2 green to cast, but casting cost is minus X, where X is equal to the amount of creature power you have on the battlefield. So she was pretty excited about that. I don't think we splashed red for absolutely anything else, just that card. So we had gotten an Evolving Wilds. We got a Mana Dork. What Mana Dork did we get? Oh, the new gold Selesnya Mana Dork. He's 1, a green and a white, taps for 1 of any color, or you can sack him to return a dinosaur from your graveyard to your hand. And we got like a Traveler's Amulet. So we put all those in her deck because she had this like super light splash. That, like, I think we ran 1 basic mountain and... Nope, I think that's it. I think just the 1 basic mountain. So we gave her all the ways to go get that basic mountain. I went... I'm trying to remember. Because I was going to go Red-Blue Pirates and then decided against it and ended up in... I think I ended up in, like, black and blue? Maybe black-white? Oh my god. How do I not remember? This was just a couple days ago. Shit. Oh, yep. I ended up going black-blue because I played, like, Negate and crap. I played spells that I don't actually know how to play very well, because, you know, you've heard me talk about my ability to play counter magic before. It's not very good. But I didn't want to take a chance of running, like, bad cards. Well, I guess it wouldn't have mattered, because she was really solid in 2 colors and just had the lightest splash of the 3rd, but I should have gone blue-red pirates. That's what I should have done, and I did not. And we went 1-2. The win we got was a buy. Oh no, that's what it was. I went green-blue merfolk. That's why I should have actually stuck to red-blue pirates, because I would have had more card depth to work with, but, you know, having to split out the green cards between the 2 decks. But man, I got the Merfolk Lord, I got the Jade Guardian, you know, the hexproof one. I got Branch Walker, you know, just a lot of quality Merfolk cards. And both games we played started out super strong, and then we just faltered, like, just enough for the opponents to latch in and take us down. Big problem was we didn't have very much removal at all, and part of the problem was I always forget that Two-Headed Giant's only 1 game. So, like, you know, all the pacifism effects and, like, the artifact and enchantment destruction effects, I was like, oh, we'll put them in the sideboard. And it's like round 1, we sit down, we play against the captain and Mulan. And, yeah, we did. We started off really strong because the captain and I were, you know, trash talking each other. Because I had made a comment, like, when we were waiting for pairings to go up, I'm like, oh god, I don't want to play against them round 1. Like, yeah, I like them both, but, you know, they're both really, really good players, and I just don't want to deal with that. And of course, we get paired against them round 1, so, like, when we come out of the gate so strong, he's like, oh yeah, you're totally gonna lose, yeah. And then we ended up losing anyway. So he looked through our stuff, and Mulan looked through our stuff and helped us out a little bit, because, like, you know, we came to a point where I'm like, okay, we can't live through the next swing, so let's move on to game 2. And he's like, did you forget this is only 1 game? And I'm like, oh shit, that's right. Oh man, I really should have thought about this. I have to go around this wicked turn up here. This is gonna suck. So, and then what did we were actually, both teams were on very similar decks. The captain was also on blue-green merfolk, and Mulan was on, it was like red-white good stuff. So then round 2 we got the bye, and Boo was super excited because that meant we could go grab Subway for lunch, and she gets like goddamn excited about that. And then round 3 we played against 2 really nice guys that again, not, you know, regulars at the shop, but they were fantastic. I don't even remember really what they were playing. And again, it was pretty tight, but ultimately we lost. But Boo had a great time. Rockstar showed up at the end because he was playing in the solo sealed after the Two-Headed Giant on Saturday. So, I mean, Boo's day just got made. She got to see the captain and Rockstar and, you know, Boss. And we got to get Subway, and we got pity packs, and that was just a great day. So Sunday I went back and did Two-Headed Giant with Rockstar, and this is usually what I end up doing in pre-releases. I do Saturday with Boo, and then Sunday with Rockstar. And, I mean, I adore Rockstar, so we had a fantastic time playing. Him and I ended up, officially our record was 2-1. Our last round would have ended in a draw, but our opponents asked if we would like to split, and we said yes, and so they conceded. And honestly, if we had had one more turn, we would have won it. But that's how it goes. He was on, like, a blue-white control strategy. I was on black-red pirates, like, real solid black-red pirates. The only non-pirate card I had was the 6-cost red dinosaur. It's double red, 4. It's like a 6/6, and when you swing with it, everybody exiles the top card of their library, and you can cast all the spells for free. So, really fun card, and I only got to play it one round, and it was last round, but, it was great. So, round 1, I got stuck on mana. Looked like I was playing a mono red deck, and then I got jammed up with a bunch of black spells in my hand. And by the time I was able to get black mana and utilize the other half of my deck, we were so far in the tank that, like, we were just done. We played against Judge and Ratchet Bomb. Like, that's just going to be that guy's name now, because that is, like, my most vivid memory of him is way back in the Innistrad Scars standard when I had my, Billions of Humans deck. But I was afraid to swing in with tokens that were going to die, because I didn't, like, quite understand how aggro worked back then. Like, yeah, your creatures die, but that's okay. You got more. I had finally managed to get out enough tokens so I could swing for lethal next turn, and he Ratchet Bombed them all away. And it was just hilarious. Anyway, we played against them. Ratchet Bomb was on, let's see here, he definitely had some blue going on. Oh, he was on dinosaurs. No, he didn't have blue going on. Seriously, I'm developing, like, the earliest case of Alzheimer's ever. My short-term memory is just so freaking shot. Now, he was on dinosaurs, like, pretty heavy red-white, but definitely, it was full Naya, but his concentration seemed to be more in red and white, whereas Judge was on black-red pirates as well. His deck just drew a lot better. Yeah, they got 2 of the pirate Quasi-Lord, where attacking pirates you control get +2/+0. Oh, it's crazy. We only got 1 of those. But, I mean, even still, like, it was still a hard-fought battle, even though I was only getting to play with half my deck. But in the end, they ended up pulling it out. Then for round 2, we played against a couple more casual players. I always feel bad getting paired against more casual players. Not that I'm not. In the spectrum, I lean heavier to casual than, like, actual competitive. But, our FNM meta leans slightly towards competitive, so we're not, super laid back. So my deck, like, just completely went off perfectly. Rockstar had the answer for everything we needed to continue to allow me to keep pressing damage through. So it was a pretty quick game. And then the third round, I got stalled on colors again. Again, looked like I had a mono red deck. The team we were playing against kept commenting that, like, they couldn't wait to see what the second color was. But the guy who was sitting across from me, his deck really seemed to not be going off either. He was on Orzhov Vampires, I guess. But he just wasn't getting what he needed, and they kept trying to bluff a Settle the Wreckage. But I would swing in anyway. And they're like, oh man, we were bluffing it, hoping you'd buy it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Getting settled would be the best thing ever for me right now. Please settle the wreckage. I need my other color of mana. But yeah, that was a long, grindy game. Luckily, his partner's deck was cooperating better. Luckily, my partner's deck was cooperating better. So, fortunately, in that round at least, by the time, like, I was able to draw into my second color and everything... Seriously, no mood for it tonight, boys. We weren't so far gone that there was just no coming back from it. And we did manage to swing it back around. Just ran out of time. But all in all, it was a real good time. Because everybody gets a participation pack, and Rockstar and I would get 6 packs for the team, so 3 packs each. Is this lane I want? I don't... Yeah, I think... maybe. Oh, God. And now I'm stuck stopped on a hill. So it ended up with a total of 8 packs allotted to 4 players, so we all ended up with 2 packs. And I'm like only halfway home. This is insanity. I left a little bit early because I was worried that, as the sun went down, things would cool off and stuff would freeze. And I probably shouldn't have done that, because it would really be a lot easier to drive if there just weren't other cars. But here we are. So you guys are stuck with me for a while today. Which may make up for me not doing the cast like yesterday or this morning. So, see, it all balances out. Do not get that close to me. Oh. I slide into you. It's your fucking fault, asshole. Oh, you notice I'm sliding? No, you're still gonna creep up on my ass? Fuck you. It's like every time I think I get to stop for a second, I don't. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, so all in all, it was a fun weekend. Not a very victorious weekend, but fun. And then the ban announcement came out yesterday. So I guess let's just move on to talking about that. Messing with my dials. So, the ban announcement. Oh, yeah. The bans for Standard, we're back up to 7 cards banned in Standard, which I believe is how many cards we had banned in the last Standard format by the time rotation hit. Could be missing a card, though. I feel like I am. I feel like there was more. And again, pretty much all the bans are a result of Kaladesh, because some mistakes were made with that block. So, 4 new bans. This is in addition to the cards that are still banned, being Aetherworks Marvel, Smuggler's Copter, and Felindar Guardian. No. Yeah, Felindar Guardian. The new bans added are Attune with Aether, Rogue Refiner, Ramunap Ruins, and Rampaging Frostodon. So, my thoughts on this. Everybody wanted to see them do something about Temur, and they really needed to. Where is my water bottle? Because I'm getting to the point where words are, like, really hard. Give it to me. And they kind of needed to do something about Teamer. As much as standard bans kind of hurt the consumer confidence aspect, they've been hemorrhaging players because of the stale format, because of the Teamer dominance anyway. So something had to be done. Do I agree with those two particular bans? Kind of. I understand that they're trying to hinder Teamer without completely kneecapping it. So, in that vein, that makes sense. Because if they wanted to completely kneecap the deck, they should have banned Attune and Whirler Virtuoso. But if they would have banned Whirler Virtuoso in the current format with, what's coming out of this ban, all these super fast, low-to-the-ground tribal decks, Teamer would have been completely hosed. It would have no defense for wide board state. So, further reflection has said that this was probably the right call. And again, this comes from having some back and forth with some people in different forums and kind of understanding a little more. I'm not sure Rogue Refiner is really that strong a ban, but I never played Teamer, so I could be missing the real value of that card. I'm happy to see something hit Teamer because this seems to have blasted the format wide open. Like, all my favorite content creators are all over the place, like, putting polls up on Twitter, like, hey, what do you want to see me? Oh, God, I'm stuck on a bridge and it's bouncing. I don't like this. What do you want to see me try out today? And, like, which decks are you more interested in? Are you more interested in, is it Pirates or Rakdos Pirates? Are you more interested in Mono White or Mono Black Vampires or Orzhov Vampires? So, seeing this renewed interest in the format makes me happy. And I don't think we would have gotten that without some ban on that. Because, if you look at Ixalan barely touched Standard. It made more of an impact on Modern than it did on Standard. Which is a really sad statement for the set, but I don't think Ixalan is the problem. I still think it's Kaladesh. The other two bans being Ramunap Ruins and Rampaging Ferocidon. Okay. This isn't because I've been playing Rami Red. Because if you've been with me for any length of time, I've been talking about moving off that deck for a while. I just haven't taken the time to find a new deck. And now I kind of have to. And again, they said the same thing, like, oh, well, we weren't trying to kneecap the deck, just hinder it. I don't know, you took its namesake card, so that kind of implies you were looking to kneecap it. Because that was the advantage of a higher curve red deck, is you had a payoff when you started flooding out. Whereas now that's gone. But you can definitely run a lower to the ground version now, because you're not going to need to run 24 lands. The whole reason you had to run 24 lands is you had 8, my build was 6 colorless sources, like straight up colorless, plus the 4, it can produce the color, but it's going to ping you. So 10 lands that you don't want to be producing colored mana off of if you don't have to, and over half of them you didn't have the ability to make color off of them anyway. Well, without Ramunap Ruins, I really wouldn't run Sunscorched Deserts. Because without saying, it does the damage when it comes in, yeah, it's colorless, but that's okay because it'll feed Ramunap activations later. So they're not really 1 damage. Ultimately, they end up being 3 damage. Ideally. But without that additional payoff, I don't think you need them to feed Scavenger Grounds. I think if you go up to 4 Scavenger Grounds and 12 to 14... Wait. Math. God, math is hard. No, 16 to 18 basic mountains. that would suffice. I don't think you really need the sun-scorched deserts for that. The only reason I would go up to 4 scavenger grounds is with the format being blown open like this, you're going to see a resurgence of old decks that want to see if they can hang in the meta now, because they're already established and everything. You're especially going to see this the first couple weeks, because it's a more established deck list. It doesn't require a lot of tuning, because the deck in a vacuum works. It just couldn't stand up to the meta. And now that that's changed, you're going to see him come back. And of course, the one that you need scavenger grounds to combat is Godpharaoh's Gift. So I would go up to 4 scavenger grounds. With losing the Rampaging Ferocidon, there are a lot of low drop red cards available that have, different benefits that would need to be analyzed more than I have had a chance to do, to see what fills the slot of Ferocidon, and not to mention the extra slots in not needing to run as many lands. Because now that you're going down to only 4 sources that can't produce the color you need, you can afford to run less lands. I think Rammy Red, Red Deck Wins would be fine on like 20 to 22 lands, depending on your build. I guess 22, because you still probably want to turn 4 Hazoret pretty bad. Now, in general, I don't think they actually needed to nerf Rammy Red. I think for a couple weeks it would have dominated the format while everybody was still in the brewing and tuning phases. And then I think other decks would have emerged to take it down, because Rammy Red isn't actually that supremely powerful deck. White shuts it down pretty hard between Ixalan's Binding and Authority of the Consuls. Black, you get Vraska's Contempt and other exile effects. I think there are still other exile effects in the format. Oh, this drive is giving me a headache. Oh, that doesn't help. But I can understand why they preemptively shut it down. It has had a very long time to get a pretty stable deck list that if they hadn't done something to throw a curveball, it would definitely dominate the format at first, and then depending on how many people just accepted that format, it could stay on top for a while. I really question the banning of Rampaging Ferocidon, because the last thing I want is to move on from the boring, you play against Teamer every round standard to every round you play one game and it goes to time because of all the life gain effects. Because this seems to be, and I could be wrong, and feel free to reach out and tell me if you think I'm wrong, but I feel like there's a lot of life gain in this format that, some of it incidental, a lot of it lifelink, that if you don't have any mechanic available to shut down life gain, it's going to make for really long, really grindy games, and that does not sound like very much of an improvement. So that's the reason I question the ban of Rampaging Ferocidon. As far as the ban on Ramunap runes, I mean, it does hurt Rammy Red. It's going to force the deck to take a new direction. It's not going to be as successful a mid-range deck anymore. And, not as successful for a fast mid-range deck. You're either going to have to go big red or low to the ground Red Deck Wins. you're not going to be able to straddle the two archetypes anymore. I don't think. And I could be wrong there. I mean, I've been wrong about many other things. It's the Ferocidon ban that I'm like, I'm just not sure that's a wise idea in the current format. One, it is in an active limited format because Ixalan packs are still in the limited format. So, God, how bad's that gonna feel? Not to mention it wasn't a great limited card anyway. Maybe in like solo limited. Maybe I'm too focused on Two-Headed Giant. Where you can board it in against a heavier creature deck than yours. But to have nothing to stall out life gain seems like a bad idea in the current format. In my opinion. It's not even like... If they decided to just like errata it and be like, you know what, never mind. It no longer causes 1 damage when creatures enter the battlefield. It just shuts down life gain. And I understand that they aren't going to do that, but yeah, I would really love if there was another effect, even if it was only 1 card, you know, so it committed you to a specific color to combat that strategy. But I think life gain's going to be a little bonkers out of control now. So, yeah, see? Traffic eased up and it's so much easier to drive now. So that is the only ban that, like, I really heavily question. And I know I had some back and forth with some people on this, that I'm like, there are so many other cards they could have picked to really slow down Ramunap Red. Like Hazoret, for instance. And the argument there was, well, they probably didn't want to ban the face card of a set. And yeah, Amonkhet has a lot of pictures of Hazoret going on. So okay, fine, you don't want to ban Hazoret. Earthshaker Kenra would be a real kneecapping to the deck, but again, that would be make it almost unviable. Earthshaker Kenra is a really important card for that deck. Like, you notice when the on-crop crashers got the axe, Earthshaker stayed. They could have banned Harsh Mentor, but Harsh Mentor, I don't think would have really made that much an impact on Standard then. Like, I don't think that would have made too much an impact on Ramunap Red. Where is my turning lane? Kari Zev would have been bad for pirate builds then. I think I'm just going to wait for the turning arrow next light cycle because, yeah, this turn looks a little dicey. Right. Let's see here. What else is still played in that deck? Bomat Courier, maybe? But personally, I run the Bomat Couriers because they're in the list. I've so rarely cracked them, really only on a Settle the Wreckage. Let's see here, what else is in there? You got some Kari Zevs, you got Ferocidons, Harsh Mentors, Earthshaker Kenras, Bomat Couriers, Soulscar Mage, and Hazoret. Soulscar Mage I don't think would make that huge an impact. A lot of people board them out, and I think I'm one of the few people still running 4 of. Oh, man. Oh, I see this road hasn't been treated like at all. Fantastic. So we're just going to go real slow here. Try not to die. Oh, God, this parking lot hasn't been treated. Oh, this is going to suck getting out. I have to make a stop on the way home and pick something up. And this is going to be a bitch to get out of here. God damn it. What else is in that deck? I mean, you can ban some Lightning Strike action there. Yeah? No, that's a bad idea. Yeah, it doesn't run that many non-creature spells, really. They're all damage spells. So I guess from that side, if you want to hinder Ramunap Red but not completely kill it, I guess Ferocidon was like the only real option, but I feel like that's a mistake. I'm going to stick y'all on pause. I'm only going to let you know that because I may not pick up on the same topic I left off on. I'll be right back. Alright there, super friends. I am back. Yeah, I know, you don't actually notice the time gap, but... So, yeah, I guess in that they had an interest in not actually completely killing Mono Red, that makes Ferocidon the logical choice, but in some ways that does kind of kill it, because any heavy life gain strategy Red can't compete with. When your, like, whole game plan is chipping in for small amounts of damage until you're able to set up for a larger hit, and they can just gain that life back. Yeah, it makes that plan unreliable. This has seriously been just a fucking painful drive home. Now I'm gonna get stopped at the top of a hill again. And I can't see the lanes because this road's like not fucking treated. What the hell, guys? Here feels about right, I guess. I just hope nobody gets real up close and personal with my back end, because here we go. Oh, fuck. I think I can't move. Shit. Like, seriously, it's not like this area doesn't deal with this every fucking winter. Anyway, so yeah, I'm worried about how that's going to affect the meta, but may not be too bad. Like, I may be vastly overestimating the amount of life gain that's in the format. It may just feel like there's a lot. All in all, though, I'm not sure how viable a mono red strategy is going to be in general. Not just with the bans, but with as much life gain as there is. Well, yeah, I guess Rampaging Ferocidon ban. I seriously question that one. Come on, you can do it, Elsa. Shit, I don't... It's gonna take me like 3 light cycles to get through this, because I'm gonna have to keep... Come on, you're almost there. Alright, I'm gonna have to pause you guys real quick, because I'm gonna have to call my husband and let him know, like, why I'm so fucking late. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna cut off here for the day, because this is almost an hour long, which makes it a bitch to upload anyway, and I'm just gonna keep rambling. Like, I'm out of things I was actually going to talk about over today and tomorrow. So, as always, if you made it this far with me, thank you very much for listening, and hope I don't die on the way home.